In live action film, if I move like really fast from one place to another, you'll notice that there's this blur that happens. It's motion blur. I'm gonna like move really fast and then I'm gonna freeze frame and show you exactly what I mean. You ready? Those blurs in film help convey that something is moving really fast, especially when frame 1 and frame 3 are in totally different places. Basically, today we're gonna be looking at how that happens in animation and how it tends to look kind of ridiculous and often hilarious. This is gonna be fun. Alright, let's just stop right here. You thought this was just gonna play my intro normally. No, I'm gonna show you first as an example how I've done it myself. That's right, you see this? You see this? In my own intro, see how there's the spin? Look at the hand. That's called an animation smear. It looks all like noodly. Imagine like that being animated and that's the actual shape of the character. That's not the actual shape of the character, but it's being used to convey the motion. Next frame. That shape is continuing and it's extending now to the legs. The shape is getting very extreme here, but because it's happening so rapidly, it tricks the eye into thinking that it's just a fast motion. But there's a frame here, and this is one that I get screenshotted and sent to me a lot, which is of the face when you slowly, there you go. There's like a quick snap back up, and I do an animation smear of the whole face on that frame. I think it's pretty beautiful. But I also like to imagine that's the character design. But anyways, that's my intro, which I think is fairly appropriate as to what an animation smear is. And then this is the result. So when you have like the ease ins and eases outs, ease outs. The slower bits are obviously animated with normal geometry, but then the faster bits are super accentuated with animation smears. And we're gonna look at a whole bunch of different animation smears today because they are just one of the most fun and sexy and hilarious and juicy elements of animation. You know a segue's coming. Hey you!
Me?
No, not you. You! Yeah, you! If you're looking for a fun, sexy, and dare I say, juicy way to build your website, why not do it with the sponsor of this video, Wix? I've used Wix for years. I used it to build Draw with JAZZA.com. It's an amazing platform and you can get started today absolutely free. They have thousands of templates you can build your website on so you can be a total dummy and start right now. But if you really like to dive in deep, they have all the ways that you can dig your teeth into it and really get everything out of your website, from e-commerce, custom databases, contact forms, maps, and all sorts of widgets that you can use. It's really fun, actually. Whether you're starting your own business or just trying to get your art or animation out there, or just want to experiment with a website building platform and see what's possible, go to Wix today, get started. There's nothing to lose and I can highly recommend it. And a huge thank you to Wix for sponsoring this video. Now, on to the activity for today, and we're actually going to be on Tumblr. Yes, I know, Tumblr. There is a page on Tumblr, animationsmears.tumblr.com, which is just an absolute gold mine. We're going to look at that today. Now these are old. As you can see, most of these are like posted like, yeah, 2 years ago, but there's a lot of good ones in here. They're just so magical. They're beautiful. What's the animation smear in this one? Oh, it's the hand. Look at that. So there you go. There's another double up. So you're literally having the start and the end frame on the same frame. So that's the first kind, like you can see there, the multiples. And then there's another kind, which this is a good example of, and that's the stretching. So it's like literally pulling the geometry like a balloon. That tends to be the one I tend to prefer to do myself, as I showed you in the intro. What is this even? What's the motion capturing? Like, is the hand doing this or something? Can I capture that in a motion blur? I think he is doing that. It can't be anything else. Hey, this is a GIF of one in action. That's fun to see. I'm gonna pause it in post-production while editing this video just to go through the frames and show the different frames of the actual smear of the motion. And now back to real time. And you can see how effective it is. Like, you just wouldn't be able to get that effect without the smears. They're just really fun. Ooh, wow. Ed. Calm your farm. Wait, is that Ed, or Eddie? I guess I should say, is that Ed or Eddie? The real classic ones, I feel like they were still sort of figuring out how the smears worked. And you look at the Roadrunner stuff and you can tell they use it heavily, but at the same time, it's like they were sort of establishing the methods. And by the time we had clean animation, they just knew how to implement it. But the older stuff is really visually interesting because you can tell they're just sort of like figuring it out. Oh, here's another one in motion. All right, so again, let's do this one. So real time. That's pretty intense. I guess it's building something, building his machine, working out of there. Now, frame by frame. Just soak it in. There's a lot of arms and a lot of blurring, swiping, color stretching, I guess you could say. And then in real time, you just don't question it. It's literally tricking the eyes. It's really interesting. Look at this one. That's just brilliant. This is like the nerdiest version of me, like getting a little bit like pervy on smears. That's a good, ooh, check out the blur on that one. Oh my God, there's like 8 arms. Oh. How old is that? 1933. All right, let's watch the original animation. I wonder how much animation smearage is present in something this old. What is this even about? Is there a Wikipedia page for this animation? That's a lot of writing. That's what I have to say about that. All right, let's go back to this. God, this is weird and funny and interesting. It's hard, they don't seem to use a lot of it. There's more of the swiped lines you can see there than there are actual smears. This is like really early animation. I mean, they stretch, but it's not the same sort of strength of smears that animators have come to like learn they can rely on. Now, obviously this is in there somewhere, but I just think that's really interesting that there's not more of it in something so motion heavy. Can I slow down the speed? Whoa, yes, perfect. Half speed. Oh God, that sounds demonic. Oh my God, that's haunting. Come on, let's get to the smears. Smear me up, baby. Smear all over me. It's just so demonic. Oh my God. Look at them. They just look totally high. Anyways, that was a bit of a fun trip through time. But as you can see, as we come forward through time, the smear is like, yeah, it's everywhere. Good Lord. I don't even know that smears are used that much these days, even in the 2D sort of like Disney Cartoon Network animations. I could be wrong. I mean, these are older Tumblr posts. So this is recent DuckTales relaunched in 2017. And let's find a classic DuckTales to compare it to.
As in Scrooge McDuck, the bajillionaire?
There was a bit of motion there. No smears. Oh, you're boring, Disney. What's happened to you?
Finally gonna sell us.
Don't up, come up.
Bit of motion there. Have we got any smears on the swipes? Any smears? Where's your smears? You got lazy, Disney. That was a good motion. Let's go back. Come on. Give us a good smear. Where's this smear? There's no smear. Oh, I'm so disappointed. That was a prime smear candidate, Disney. You've lost your edge. That's just like you've drawn one frame and that's just totally been copied across and pasted. Ah, my heart is broken for the state of 2D animation today. Let's go back in time, shall we?
It's a duck blur.
Look at that! In the bloody intro! Well, what's happening? He's walking through this thing and... Look, right there. There it is. Let's pull him apart into like 4 different parts. How can anyone like the new one better than this? This is just objectively better. Hey, look at that. There you go. There's a beautiful smear, but not only is there a smear to accentuate the motion, they are redrawing every frame in such extremity. It's just beautiful. Oh my God, look at that. Look at it! Animation is not what it used to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love what we can do with animation now, and Spider-Verse is a prime example of how technology and modern animation can be incredible. See, look at that, there you go. It's not quite the same as having the doubles or whatever, but you can see that's not computer-generated smearage. They went in and added that, so that instead of just having a computer-generated blur, they're literally going in and hand creating the smears or the blurs on the characters. So it's not lost. And in fact, look at this. In this one shot here, you can see there is a smear on the arm of Spider-Man. It's not a lost art, but it's one that requires a bit of personal attention. And I think that's what it comes down to. There's a lot more cheaply produced, just churned out animation these days. But when it's like really crafted, and look, there's a smear in the car here. You can see there's like 4 versions of the car in the shadow of its motion. It's still alive. It's just not as common or appreciated because animation can look clean and pretty without putting in all the effort to handcraft those sorts of frames. I think that's one of the reasons why I and obviously a lot of other people just instinctively love Spider-Verse. It feels so lovingly crafted. So not all is lost, and while we have some classics even in our lifetime, nostalgia doesn't have to be the only way we can appreciate the animation smears, because thank God there are still studios and people putting in the time and effort and love to make animation just fun and quirky and awesome. I mean, obviously it's the reason animation became successful in the first place, is because you can do things that you can't do in any other way. And I think smears is just one of those demonstrating factors that shows that you can just bend things to your will and have a bit of fun with it. Speaking of bending things to your will and having a bit of fun with it, why don't you build your website today with Wix? You can take one of their custom templates and bend it to your will, have a bit of fun with it, or even build it from scratch. Dive in deep with Wix code, change the CSS and styling and all of the nitty-gritty technical stuff that I don't understand, but it's there if you're technically minded. But if you're really just more of a creative soul like me and you prefer the whole WYSIWYG thing, stands for what you see is what you get. Well, that's how Wix works for most of people who don't know the technicalities. You can simply click and drag, even really advanced stuff like contact forms, forums, booking systems, e-commerce, map systems, all of that stuff becomes insanely simple with Wix. Go to wix.com and sign up today and just give it a go. You don't have to pay a penny to go get started today and have a bit of fun with Wix and bend it to your will. Segue out. And leave any comments or suggestions in the comment section down below if you want me to explore any other different quirky features of art or animation. Make sure to subscribe to Joy with Jazza for more fun with art. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay juicy. That's a bit gross, I'm sorry. We'll see you later. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind-the-scenes daily vlog channel, Daily Jazza. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.